CleanSpark and CIFR have released their June production updates. Bitcoin is sitting in somewhat of a precarious spot right now. Let's talk about those things today. First, we're going to start with the economic calendar today. We've got unemployment numbers coming out with the initial jobless claims. We've got ADP employment coming out today, U.S. trade deficit. The FOMC Fed minutes, that's going to be a market mover, but it does come out after the market closes today. The market will close early today in anticipation for the holiday tomorrow. So this actually comes out after the market is already closed. It closes at 1 p.m. Eastern time today. So keep that in mind. Today is going to be a funky day in the market. It's probably going to be a low volume day where there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. So be a little careful today if you're trading or just paying attention to your portfolio in general. Be aware that today's going to have some weird movement in it. We've also got factory orders. That's going to be interesting as well for the market today. So that's all that's going on there. Not too much. It's not too crazy of a day. Kind of just relatively chill. I mean, the jobless claims always move stuff, and so do the Fed minutes, but I'm not too concerned about that. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So I've got here up on a 2-hour chart, and I've got my fib Bollinger Band cloud indicator up here. Let me turn off all my drawings, and this is not looking very good. So this is a 2-hour chart. It came up to the middle here, made a head and shoulders, and came down. Now this is kind of the bottom of that head and shoulders move where it bottomed out and is creating wicks on the bottom here. Now we do need to see this get up and above this purple line here, up and above 62,892. It's got to get above that. Oh, 62,851, excuse me. It's got to get above there, and it's got to do it fairly soon. Now we are oversold on the RSI. Volume is starting to flatten out near the bottom here, but we do have room all the way down to about 57,000 before we're out of the bottom cloud, which we can leave. You've seen it in the past on this one, so that could be a problem. The daily is also not looking great. So the daily, this is the problem with the daily. So we're on this purple line here. This is where we need to bounce. We must bounce where we are now. We need to stay above 58,399. If we get below that, then we start looking at this as a double top. This area starts looking like a double top where this line is, and not at the 60, but at the candle body bottoms. Yeah, about 58,125 is about where we're going to be running into some serious trouble if we do not bounce now. If we get below that and this becomes a double top, we are at minimum going down to $51,000. Okay, if 51,000 doesn't hold, because the only support is right here, that's not a ton of support at 51,000, not a ton of support. If that doesn't hold, we're very likely coming down into the $40,000 range here, and probably the mid to low 40s if this doesn't hold. Okay, so that's the level to watch. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean the sky is falling. Doesn't mean to get scared or anything. But the issue that I'm running into on the daily here on this chart is it came down under the 20, right? Came up to the 20, and it rejected right here. It rejected with a bit of an inverted hammer at the top of a move here on the 1st of July. That is bad. And it rejected off the 20, and it's heading for the 200. This purple pinkish line represents the midline for the fib Bollinger Bands, but also pretty much lines up with the 200-day moving average. If we get under this thing, we're going to have a bad time. That's what is important to remember about Bitcoin. Okay, let's move on to the production numbers. So CleanSpark actually had a really good report, and they got no love for it. Kind of annoying. That's okay, though. They mined 445 Bitcoin in June. Their exahash is now over 20. They are one of the top dogs in exahash right now, and that is awesome. I'm feeling fantastic about CleanSpark. They have doubled their exahash since the beginning of this year. In 6 months, they doubled their exahash, and they are still going strong with new facilities, with plugging in new miners, with increasing that exahash. CleanSpark is doing wonderfully there, and they are not getting the love and support they deserve on the stock from all that improvement. So just from May, so we have the 20.4 exahash. I've got the May one up here too. So we mined more Bitcoin than we did in May. So 417 in May, 445 in June. That's great. They had 17.97 exahash in May. Well, guess what? 20.4 now. That's awesome. A little more than 2 exahash added in just a month. That's fantastic. Another thing that doesn't really get a lot of attention is their fleet efficiency actually went up as well. They had a 23% efficiency before, now, or 23%, joules to terahash. Now it's at 22 joules to terahash. That's a really important metric as well. It means that they're keeping their power consumption down while producing more Bitcoin. That is awesome. The other thing to keep in mind is that they only sold 8 of their Bitcoin. So their treasury here, this is quickly growing. Their treasury is quickly growing, and that is just wonderful to see. I love to see it on Clean Spark. So the other thing, let's see, they've got this facility that they've increased 1.7%, 1.7 exahash is what they've increased on one of their facilities in Georgia. That site has a total capacity of 3.7, so they could see another 2 exahash coming out of just that facility. Then you've got the Dalton expansion that they've been working on. They've got the concrete down. They've got the transformers installed. They're getting ready to plug in soon 2.4 exahash just in that facility there on its own as well, which would take them up to 22.8 from that facility, and then we'd have 24.8 once the Georgia acquisition is complete in terms of getting all the exahash online that they have available there. So this is a really good update for CleanSpark. It is doing really fantastic. And let's take a look at their chart, and they're getting absolutely no love for this. I mean, yesterday they were up at 12%, but we're giving it all back basically today. It's down. Or yesterday it was down 5.52%. I got to turn on the pre-market to see what's going on here. Well, you can see here, pre-market is 16.56. They closed at 16.93, so it's not getting any love for any of this right now. Yeah, I've got to be doing pre-market stuff now. I start too early. Let me go with the 2-hour here. Yeah, you can see it's been since July 1, just kind of a drop off. Really controlled drop off too. So I'd expect to see this to turn around at some point. Okay, some point soon probably. Let me get rid of this drawing right there. I don't really care for that. All right. Now the other one was CIFR. CIFR had an update as well for June. So in June, CIFR mined 176 Bitcoin. They sold 103 of those, so a significant amount, but not all. They are holding 2,209 Bitcoins. Not terrible, not bad. And they have 8.6 exahash, so they're a mid-range miner for sure in that respect. Let's see what anything happened extra in June. No, not really. That's all they've got. That's all they've got to tell us. Let's take a look. Let me see here. Let's look at that compared to their May one. So in May, they mined 106. So they increased by 0.4 exahash. They've got their BTC held is slightly higher, 2,200 versus 2,142. They mined 166 Bitcoin last month, and this month 176. So they increased that by 10. It's a nice little increase for CIFR. So it's not like a huge thing to look at, but it is all right, not bad. That's the update for CIFR. Let's see how they've been doing. Same chart as CleanSpark. They went up. They peaked on the first on the a pre-market in the second, and then just came down, 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 down on this. And this is hopefully they'll bounce. Hopefully they'll let me put it on the 4-hour. Hopefully they'll find a bounce on the MAs here, slightly above all this consolidation below currently, and then crawl back up from there. If we look on the daily, yeah. Okay. One last thing I want to talk about is IREN. IREN had a huge day yesterday. I don't know. So they had their business update report saying they were fully funded and a couple of other things, but like it wasn't their June production update or anything like that. And they went up 14% off of that. CleanSpark had a stellar report and they're dropped. Cypher had an okay report. They fail. But meanwhile, IREN is just coming up saying, "Hey, we've got all the money we need." Maybe that means that they're done with dilution and that got people excited. But it went up 14% yesterday. That's crazy. I was really expecting once it closed under the 20 to drift down more to like that 1029 level area. And it just didn't. So we'll see here. Now, the one thing that is a little bit telling here is that this candle did not overtake the previous big candle here on June 17th, and it stopped right there. I would be looking to see what happens today. You can see the pre-market's already coming down in something of a big way. Let me go to the 4 hours here. Yeah. So it's came down 2-3%-ish since in the pre-market. I would like to see this give back a good part of this candle here. I feel like that was a knee-jerk reaction. It needs to cool off. Probably come back down to maybe this 50 here, about 13 bucks or so, and then start moving back up again before I feel good about that. IREN's a hard one to catch for me. I'm not in it yet, and I've just been watching it, waiting for it to come back to a level I'm okay with. Hasn't quite done that yet, so I haven't gotten into it yet. That's basically all there is to say about IREN. Anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video, and have a profitable day.